Hey Alex. So I just wanted to give you a bit of an update on some of the things I've been working on over the past couple of weeks. This is going to actually be a really exciting update because my hope is that you're going to finally start to see your vision coming to life a little bit and some of the pieces working and how it's all going to work together. So there's a good bit of ground to cover, so I'm just going to dive right in. But what I've done, this is a pretty empty install of the software, but what I did do is I created a bunch of just fake users that are basically there for me to test things out and stuff. So these aren't real, but I created them to really just show you how some of this stuff is going to work. So I'm just going to go to a random person's profile here. I'm logged in as myself, and I'm just going to go to their profile. And what you can see is I don't see any posts from this person because I am not subscribed to them. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to subscribe for free. And just to explain this a little bit, so when it comes to following people, there's really, or when it comes to posts, I should say, there are basically three or four different types of posts. So there's going to be public posts, which are going to be available to anybody who views this profile. There's going to be subscriber posts, so anybody who's subscribed to a particular user. There's going to be the premium post, and that's going to be when people are subscribed to their paid content. And then there will be kind of upcharged content as well, where regardless of your status, you can pay to view that post. But for the time being, I just subscribe to them. And you'll see now when I go back to my home, I'm now seeing some of this person's posts that are only available to subscribers. So, the very first thing when it comes to ranked content is just the ability to upvote or downvote posts. So, you'll have these buttons right here, so I can either give it an upvote or I can give it a downvote. And the way this works is basically every user only gets one vote per post. So, if I give it an upvote, then that gives it a score of +1. If I downvote it afterwards, I've basically canceled out my vote. And then if I downvote it, it gives it a score of -1. Now you're seeing 1 here. This is going to be the number of votes that a post has overall. So if, 328,000 people like this number is going to say 3.8K or whatever. But that's not the actual score of the post. So the score is going to be determined by the number of upvotes minus the number of downvotes. So there's more stuff to say around there, but I'm going to kind of just breeze through a little bit of that. But from a post ranking standpoint, it's going to be based around these upvotes and downvotes. And also, I think interactions are going to come into that as well. So, when we're determining what constitutes a popular post or the most popular post, it's going to be a combination of how many interactions a post has gotten and then the overall score, upvotes minus downvotes. But so there's that. The next thing I want to show you is kind of an internal piece, not internal, but it will be driven internally. And so we have these things, what I'm calling campaigns. And there's two different types of campaigns, and I'm going to show them both to you, but I'm going to start with this ranked poll. So what this is going to be is this is going to be a way for us to poll users on their favorite something, and we are going to be in control of what those things are. So as an example, we might do the top 5 modern female artists. So you might say top modern female artists. And so we can preface it with a question. Who are your top 5 favorite female artists? And we can give it a description. And this you'll see all this on the front end, but we'll say Rolling Stone magazine listed these ladies as the top modern female artists. But what do you think? Who deserves the top spot? Something like that. And so we might, put on here Taylor Swift. We might put on here Katy Perry, Billie Eilish, Lady Gaga, and coming up short, we'll just do Carrie Underwood. Okay, so we're basically specifying who the votes are going to be, and then we submit this. So now if I go back home, you'll see that I have this poll here that I can now vote, and I can rank these things. So notice, the first thing to notice how they are not showing up in the order that I put them in. Every time I go to this page, it's going to be randomized so that I have to rank them in the order that I think is best. So I might say number 1, number 2, 3, 4, 5. And then I could submit my answers. And that's going to basically be one way that we can start ranking content. And that's when we want to be in control of who is being ranked or what is being ranked. So as soon as you submit the poll, you're going to see the results, and that's going to be a cumulative rank based on how many people voted and the score of what they gave. So it's going to be the latest tally based on the number of votes that have been given up to that point. So the second type of campaign is what I'm calling a free-form poll. And so this is going to be an opportunity to give them a little bit more freedom in how they vote. So I have kind of a campaign set up here, but I'll just give you the example. So we might say it's 80s hair bands. We can say, who are your top 5 favorite 80s hair / metal bands? And we can give it a description. So it's like the pants were tight and the hair was high. Who are your top 5 favorite 80s hair bands? Now, in order for this to work, we're going to want to specify a data source. And I'll explain this in a little bit more detail. But basically what I have is I created a whole separate project that is essentially going to be a data server where we can provide kind of the top 100 or 200 options that are most likely to be selected so that we can do an autocomplete. Now, so I'll explain that in just a little bit more detail in just a second, but I'm going to go ahead and submit this. So now when I go back to home and you see this poll here, so now I don't have predefined options to choose from. I basically can enter my own. And so the way this works is as I click in this box, it's actually going to give me a predefined list. So that data source that I provided earlier, that's basically an API endpoint that pulls in kind of some of the pre-selected options that we've given. Now, they don't have to actually choose from this list. So they really can still type in whoever they want. So if they want to type in just whatever, if they want to type in Taylor Swift, they can, but ultimately we're trying to nudge them into staying on topic. So if I choose just whatever here and I submit, now one thing I want to explain here is we want consistency and I guess some authority in terms of the results or the rankings. So for example, I typed in Taylor Swift, but she's obviously not an 80s hairband. And so what I've actually put in place is what I'm calling a certified multiplier. So if you actually do choose one of the options that we give, you're going to get a multiplier of times 10. So basically any selection that already exists in the list that we gave is going to be ranked higher than things that really don't belong in that list. And so this is just a way of, it's just a nice balance between giving them freedom to put in whatever they want, but also getting realistic data that is pertinent to whatever question we're asking, because we don't want just a bunch of people putting random stuff that never matches. And this also helps to account for misspellings or typos. So Motley Crue here, for example, it has the little dots above the the vowels here. A lot of people wouldn't actually type those in. So by giving them kind of an autocomplete list, it helps to make sure if somebody types in Motley Crue with the dots, Motley Crue without the dots, or even if they spell crew, C-R-E-W, the autocomplete that I have built in there will account for that and recommend that as a result. So a lot of stuff there, but this is just, once again, another way to start collecting ranked content. So I'm going to end this here. I feel like I could talk about this for a lot longer, but this is just a real quick demo to start to show you some of the ranking algorithms and the different way that we're going to be generating some polls, campaigns, and just the ability for people to rank content. That's whether that's driven by us, whether that is a little bit more freeform, or whether that's stuff generated by our users. So anyways, that's the update. I hope you're excited. I'm very excited. And let me know your feedback. Let me know if you have any thoughts or suggestions. I'd love to hear your thoughts. So, all right, man. Hope this is helpful. Looking forward to talking to you soon.